Good morning, children. Let us begin with Standard 5, English Grammar, Unit 23, Punctuation and the Use of Capital. So, let us read the following two sentences that are given to us. The first one, he likes apples, pears, plums, and grapes. And the second sentence is, he likes apples, pears, plums, and grapes. So, in the first sentence, has no full stop, it has no punctuation marks. It does not begin with a capital letter or end with a full stop. So, punctuation marks are capital letters, commas, full stops, question marks. Only when we use these in our sentence, it gives a proper sense to your sentence. So, to make a good sentence, we have to use capitals and stops or marks of punctuation. The first sentence, when we read it in one breath. We did not have any comma or any capital letter in it. But when we read the second sentence, there were commas between the apples and pears and plums. So it gave it a little pause. So it differentiates between the different fruits. So this is how, when we use the punctuation, it gives a better sense to your sentence. So the most common stops or marks of punctuation are, the most common marks that we use when we are writing any sentences are, the first one is the comma, the second, the semicolon, third, the colon, fourth, the full stop, fifth, the question mark, sixth, the mark of exclamation, and the seventh is the quotation marks. Now we will try and understand all the different punctuation marks a little in detail. Now let us learn about the comma. The comma marks are the shortest pause. Shortest pause means whenever you put a comma in your sentence, we have to give a pause and then start. And not a very long pause, a very short pause to indicate that it is a comma. So the first way that we use is to separate a series of words of the same part of speech as Bali, Ashok, Raman, and Sohan met me on the road. So these were the name of the boys and we were separating them by a comma. The next sentence is, she lived a noble, honest, and pious life. So all these qualities are separated by a comma. Now the next time when we use a comma is before and after the word in opposition, as Ashoka, the wisest of the Indian kings, ruled nobly. So here we are talking about a special person, Ashoka. So we are separating him with a comma. And what type of a person he was, we write that and again we put a comma and then we mention about him. The second, Delhi. We are talking about Delhi, so we are separating it from the sentence with a small pause by putting a comma. The capital of India, comma, stands on the Yamuna. The third is to mark off the name of the person addressed. Address means how do we call the person. Sometimes we give respect and we call the person by sir, madam. So, for example, Bali, shut the door. So now we are ordering Bali, a person denoting by his name. So we are separating it and then we give the command. Raman, come into the garden. So here we are calling a special person by his name. So we are separating it with a comma. Now the semicolon marks a greater pause than that indicated by the comma. It is used to separate a series of clauses as. So now if we put a semicolon in your sentence, if we stop just for less than a second in a comma, a little more we stop in a semicolon. For example, I came, I saw, I conquered. So here the stop, the pause because of semicolon will be a little longer than the comma. Next example, I laugh, I ran, I leap, I sing for joy. So the semicolon is nothing different than the comma. It's just a little more bigger pause than the comma. So the next mark of punctuation is the colon. This indicates a greater pause than that shown by a semicolon. So for a comma, we stop less than a second, and for a semicolon, we stop more than what we stop for a comma, and a colon, we stop more than a semicolon. So it is not used now except to mark of a direct quotation, as we do not use this colon much, but sometimes when a dialogue is said by someone, we need to separate his dialogues with a colon. Colon is two dots. So here is one example. A poet says, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." So this we separate. What the poet is saying, we separate it with a mark of punctuation, that is colon. The next mark of punctuation we all know, that is the full stop. It is placed at the end of an assertive or imperative sentence as, "Honesty is the best policy." And last we put a full stop. "Wait for me till I return." At the end we put a full stop. So this full stop gives a pause to your sentence. The next mark is the question mark. It is placed at the end of an interrogative sentence. Question mark means when you are asking a question to someone, we need to put this mark, is very necessary, so that it shows that you are inquiring about something. How do you do? And a question mark. How old are you? And a question mark. The next punctuation is the mark of exclamation, which is used after an exclamatory sentence. So an exclamatory sentence is a sentence where you show sudden happiness or sadness, or something which you comes out eventually. So, well done. You scream and you show your surprise and you are praising someone, so you put an exclamation mark. How it rains, you want to express the rain, that how it is falling, so you put an exclamation mark. What luck, and you put an exclamation mark. So all these are sudden experiences and happinesses that we need to show. The quotation marks or inverted commas are used of the exact words of the speaker. Now, sometimes when we use certain dialogues, so we need to put them in the quotation marks or the inverted commas. Any person who says something or has to say some words, so we put them in quotation marks. For example, the teacher said, "Time is money." So this "time is money" are the words spoken by the teacher. So we put them in inverted commas. "I am fine and happy," she said. So this person, this girl is saying, a lady, she is saying that she is fine and happy. So we need to put them in quotation marks or inverted commas. Now about capital letters. When do we use capital letters? A capital letter is used to begin every new sentence. Whenever we put a full stop and we begin with a new sentence, we have to start with a capital letter, and every first letter of the sentence is always in capital. The second, proper nouns, as Ashok lives in Mumbai, Kolkata stands on the Hooghly. So all the names which are proper, we always write in capital letter. Words such as "oh," "God," I, O. All these are always written in capital letters wherever it comes in the sentence, whether in the beginning of the sentence, whether in the middle of the sentence, or whether it is the last word of the sentence. We write these words always in capital. Then the first word of a sentence put within inverted commas. So if we put any dialogue in inverted commas, then the first word is always written with a capital letter. For example, she said, and then we open the inverted commas. So this will come in capital letter. This lesson is hard to learn. And always remember, the first word of every line of a poetry is written in a capital letter. Work while you work, play while you play. So the first word is always written in a capital letter in a poetry. So now let us begin with the first exercise, where we need to apply the capital letters and the full stops in all these given sentences. So let us begin with this exercise. The first sentence, we begin with inverted commas. What is a zebra? This is a question. So we put a question mark and we close the inverted commas. Asked the teacher, and then we put a full stop. So these are the dialogues said by the teacher. So we put them in inverted commas, and it is also a question. Second, this is a dialogue said by somebody. So we have to put it in inverted commas. So we start with inverted commas and we write Mohan with capital letter, and we separate him from the rest of the sentence by a comma. Mohan, one of your old friends, met me in Delhi last Sunday. And Delhi and Sunday also will come in capital letters. Delhi is a name of a city, and Sunday is the days of the week, which all the days of the week, wherever they come in the sentence, we need to write them in capital letter. And then we put a full stop and close the inverted commas. The third one, the teacher said, comma, open inverted commas, London stands on the Thames. We put a full stop and we close the inverted commas. London will also come in capital letters. Whatever word it is, when we open inverted commas, the first letter is always capital. The fourth one, we begin with the capital letter. Hindus, we put comma. Muslims, we put comma. Sikhs, we put comma. Christians and Parsis also we write in capital, and all these religions we write with a capital letter because they are talking about a proper name. All live together in India. So India will also come in capital letter and we put a full stop. Fifth, Leela said to Kamla. So we begin with the capital letter, and after Kamla we put a comma, and these are the words said by Leela to Kamla. So we open inverted commas and the first word we write capital. That is how beautiful we look. At the end we put full stop and we close it with inverted commas. The sixth one, he was honest, comma, sincere, comma, hardworking and faithful. And last comes full stop. So all these qualities are separated with a comma. Seventh, lions, we begin with a capital letter, then we put a comma. Tigers, comma, panthers and leopards. And we put a comma because we are separating these animals and saying something about them, that they all belong to the cat family. And last we put a full stop. The eighth one, we start with inverted commas. Father, going along the road last night, comma, I met your friend, comma, and the dialogue is over. Who said? And again we put a comma and open inverted commas. How is your father? Pray remember me to him. full stop and close the inverted commas. So this is a dialogue said by someone and the son is saying it to his father. So accordingly, we put the inverted commas and close the inverted commas. And at the end, remember to put a full stop. So dear children, I hope you have understood this lesson of punctuation. So your homework is that you need to write this one first exercise very neatly in your English grammar notebook. So thank you and have a very nice day.